5 years in the Middle East and Africa region. He's someone that's partnered with the Clematis Initiative purely for the Mission Unicorn. He's extremely experienced in the startup ecosystem to help scale startups. He's part of this qualification process of how startups that were chosen today were actually chosen. Okay, he runs a consultancy business called Synarchy, and he's a leading advisory in the region. So I want to invite him to the stage with his expertise about digital transformation through initiatives for the government and more. Please put your hands together as we invite Ramki Jayaraman up to the stage. Our partners have been able to qualify these startups for you today.
Morning, everybody. Summer 99, George Bell, the CEO of this venture called as Excite, used to be the second search engine after Yahoo. He had an offer from a graduate from Stanford, Larry Page, for $1 million and what used to be called backup. That was pre-Google days. George Bell rejected the offer for reasons. Vinod Ghoshla, a very distinguished Silicon Valley entrepreneur, venture capitalist, he negotiated because he backed Excite. And then they brought the deal to $70,000 for buying out Backrub. The only condition Larry Page then had was the algorithm has to be theirs. And Excite felt their algorithms and the results from what they had from Backrub were very similar, and that was one reason the deal didn't make it through. And 6 months later, Winter 99, Google raised $25 million, and today you know where the history is today. Jamie Siminoff, 2013, goes on a Shark Tank, which is this idea for a doorbell. It used to be called as Doughbot before. He thought his valuation was about $7 million. He just wanted about 10% dilution, $700,000 for all his pitch. Shark Tank rejected the offer, but for one who gave an impossible conditions. 10% as a loan, 10% as a sales clawback where every sale 10% goes to him till the loan is repaid, plus a 7% royalty on future sales. Jamie went home with nothing from Shark Tank and he was broke literally. It goes on air in November 2013 and it becomes a blockbuster. And eventually, one of his customers was vacationing with Richard Branson in his island, probably down the line 18 or 17. And then he found the idea and he invested 28 million out of the valuation was 60 million, and then he exited the business for about exit of about $1 billion. What do those stories tell us? For all the entrepreneurs and all the investors here, more than the numbers, there is a lot to learn. What we hear from here is our dynamics of the duo. The two players here, the investors on one side, the next best idea on one side, both of us in this room. It's important to understand certain principles, how they operate. And for all the startups, thank you. You could make it today, and we spent some time at Founders yesterday. There are some parameters in which typically the industry operates, angels, investors. Number one reason they look for a good startup is beyond your product innovation idea is your leadership, your passion, your A teams, they're important. How innovative the product is, how big is the market, do you have proof, do you have validation on customer development? Do you have a very specific cash burn estimates? What are you raising for? And do you exactly know why you're asking what you're asking? Do you have potential 10x? Everybody's interested. All investors in this room are interested in potential. Profitability. And how do I do this deal? Is my cap tables clean? Most important from an investor's standpoint is how do we manage the risks? This is important from a startup standpoint, how the market will see when you go on the stage next 5 minutes from now. There are some principles. So what we call as the founder's first principle of raising capital. And what's that? Secret to accessing capital, there are no secret sauce. There's no formula. What works on a lot of factors, and there's not one thing some American market or a fund can come out and tell you this works or this doesn't work. Go with your gut. Founder's second principle in raising dollars. Not all investors are made for each other. It's important to get your DNA match. It's just not about investing, but it's also a long-term relationship, and carefully choose your partners. We also have investors' first principles in investing beyond your risk-return trade-offs. That's what all market and textbooks talk about. Beyond all that, the next big bet is always around the corner. George Bell, we talked about that. Experts just couldn't see a goal for whatever logic, whatever reasoning, but then we always believe the next big bet is always around the corner. The investor's second principle in investing is it's when you go deep in a relationship is when you find the pearl. It's just not about putting dollars and wait for returns. You need to have that tenacity and work with the startups you're investing in to find your pearl. From a standpoint of a startup, it's very important to achieve balance. And from our experience and from my personal experience, I've seen a lot of tech startups focus unidimensional only on technology, but then a lot of parameters. It's just not technology, tactics. Do you have a very clear go-to-market? How good is your technology? What's your traction? Market wants to know your traction to all the startups we're going to be pitching in later today. How solid is your team? Do you have structures and systems in place that will generate a certain interest to manage my risks as an investor? You have to demonstrate that. Funding and finance, 2Fs. Beyond funding, it's also managing your working capital, cash burns, your profitability. These are critical balances. You cannot just go unidimensional, and having that balance gives a greater chance for success. And from our experience, what we call the duo dynamics, and to ensure that both the interests are met, take a 6x to growth, is focus on team, company, investor, product, channel, and customer. Put these together, work together in terms of how you're going to achieve that scale up as a factor to ensure that you're mutually successful in your endeavors. This is a beautiful book. I recommend to all the entrepreneurs in this room who are pitching in today. If you have done it, read this book called Grit. Please do. It's a must buy from Angela Duckworth. It talks about grit. All entrepreneurs who have done well, having been rejected about 70, 100 times, still they've come back, bounced back, is that one quotient, the grit quotient. What grit is simply guts, resilience, instincts, tenacity. You don't give up, right? And they are the key differentiating factors. But in Mission Unicorn, we have our own definition of grit dimensions. Have your growthy G in place. What's growthy G? We all have a strategy all over the place. Strategy is such an overused term today in the marketplace. Focus on your growth and your growth strategy and what Mission Unicorn calls your growthy G. Research, as in go back to your product model, product market fit. Research, as in find your own purpose. So, that's the second dimension to a grit. Investors, continue your investors journey. Always start, you don't raise capital one round and then no. This is an ongoing journey. Keep looking out because it's a continuous process. And last, start building your traction. That's going to give you a lot of results. I wish all the participants here good luck. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.